order to make the students feel more welcomed in the university. When we first joined, the two main activities that we were welcomed with were the Wow Party and the Eat Together event. Eat Together was an event in which local families and non-local students were brought together, and we went to the homes of non-local families and ate their food, learned about their culture. In the Wow Party, we met with most of our batchmates. It was a really social mingling event. It was really fun to be in. One of the most popular facilities in HKU, which all students use, is the Chiwa Learning Commons. This is a 3-storied facility which is rich in technology, and it's a common space in which students, professors, and others can come along to interact and participate in various kind of learning activities. Chiwa has a variety of study places, including study rooms, group work rooms, quiet study rooms, diner booth style tables, and a large working space with desktop PCs for everybody. Further, Chiwa is well provided with audiovisual facilities and group study rooms, as well as Wi-Fi connectivity throughout the building structure. It also has special rooms with advanced audiovisual tools and video walls. And students use these to make professional looking videos, which can be uploaded to YouTube, or it can even be for large scale projects like for a news broadcasting company. It is also the home to student advisory zones. You will find the Department of SEDARs, the library department, the advising and academic office over there. Moving on, the sports facilities at HKU. There are 3 main sports facilities present here: the Flora Ho Sports Center, the Stanley Ho Sports Center, and the Lindsay Wright Sports Center. The nearest most popular sports center is the Flora Ho. All facilities in these sports centers can be accessed very easily. One can simply book and utilize these facilities, or show up and use these facilities if there are no prior bookings. We also have an on-campus gym, which most students access. Flora Ho Sports Center is mostly an indoor structure. It contains a variety of gyms, pools, tennis courts, squash courts, indoor and outdoor basketball courts, table tennis tables, and a lot more. You'll find the bigger, more outdoor fields for other sports like cricket, hockey, athletics, and football present in Stanley Ho, along with the other facilities as well. For the food, these are a couple of pictures of the sports centers in HKU. You can see that they're very nicely built, and they're always fully packed. For the food in HKU, we have a variety of cafes, restaurants, catering outlets, and canteens. So I myself am a vegetarian, so I was really skeptical about how I would manage in Hong Kong. But with all the options that I have in HKU, not once have I had to face any sort of hurdle when it's come to food. We have over 18 eateries around the main campus. We have fast food and snack kiosks like U Deli and U Sweet. We have cafeterias and canteens which serve buffets, and it's mostly an Asian cuisine. We have vegetarian and halal restaurants like Ebenezer's and Bija's. And then we also have other cuisines all around campus, where we have restaurants like Pan Asian, Delhi France, OBC Grill, and a lot more. We also have small stalls across campus with bakeries, a Subway, we have a Starbucks. So this is very convenient for all students. We just go and like take a break between our classes. For transport and connectivity, the completion of the Centennial campus is connected through the MTR. The university has a pedestrian prioritized main campus with a view to developing a comprehensive transport policy. The university is very easy to access from everywhere by the most commonly used mode of transport in Hong Kong, the MTR. Further, for the libraries, the HKU libraries consist of the main library and the 6 specialist branch libraries. The main library comprises of an all-rounded collection of materials in arts, humanities, STEM, architecture, and there are also other audio and visual materials. The other six specialist libraries are the dental library, the Chinese library, the law library, the music library, the education library, and the medical library. So you have special resources for all of these faculties in these libraries. We also have Hong Kong's rarest collections of books, pamphlets, and microforms that you don't really find easily anywhere else. To talk about the cultural centers and the amenity centers, HKU is a home to three large amenity centers. These centers comprise of multi-purpose rooms, meeting rooms, music rooms, exhibition counters, prayer rooms, lounges, and photo studios and dark rooms. All students use these for their projects, and you also have lounges in these centers, so you can always find students taking a break between their classes in these lounges. The Chong Yuet Ming Cultural Center houses a 400-seat auditorium, a proscenium studio theater, and an exhibition gallery. This is an ideal performing venue for experimental performances. People use these for various art forms, drama, dance, musical performances, and different sorts of workshops. Once we all were given confirmed offers into HKU, the students were also provided with a free subscription of the Microsoft Office 365 Pro Plus, 5 terabytes of cloud storage, antivirus software for download on our PCs, and we were also able to avail a professional GitHub account through HKU. So all in all, my experience at HKU has always been a fantastic one. Even with hurdles that have come my way, there have always been people helping me out in HKU, and I've always been able to receive guidance and I think thrive in HKU with the facilities that it has provided me with. I would like to now hand over the presentation to Adriana to continue. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kahyun. You can call me Adriana. So I'm going to be sharing my stories in HKU. So about a basic background, I was born and raised in South Korea, but then I lived in California for 2 years. So for my high school, I went to international school in South Korea, which studies American-based curriculum. So I studied SAT, SAT2, and AP. And I accordingly applied to universities in US and Hong Kong, but eventually I chose HKU. So when I got accepted from HKU, I got an offer from a program called BBA-IS. And as you guys might know, it's a Bachelor of Business Administration. Because of the characteristic of my program, I'm currently double majoring. My first major being BBA Information System and my second major being Computer Science. And I also minor in Spanish. So about the course selection, this is basically a chart of the courses that I have to take for me to graduate. And we're going to look into detail with this. So first, the yellow one. This is common for everyone. So I'm currently in FB, which is Faculty of Business and Economics, but not only FB students, like Faculty of Art, Faculty of Engineering, everybody basically got accepted to HKU has to follow this requirement. And for the Common Core, I'm not going to dig deep into it because I'm pretty sure you guys will naturally learn what Common Core is. And so I'm just going to skip to the language part. So for me to graduate, I have to take 3 language courses. So first is Core University English. This is basically for like year 1 student, introductory English class. I got an exemption from this course. I have, because I have 5 in AP Language and Composition, so I was qualified for the exemption. After I got exemption from this, I instead had to take 1 more free elective, which I'm going to talk later in my presentation. The second one is Academic Communication for Business and Economics. So it's also an English course, but it's only for the FBE student. So I'm pretty sure if you guys are, for example, Faculty of Art students, you're going to have Academic Communication for Arts. If you're engineering, you're going to have the communication course for engineering. So in this course, we specifically learn about academic writing for the topic of business and economics. And we learn how to pitch a presentation like a people and business world. this one I'm currently taking this semester. The last one is practical trainings for BBAI students. I personally find this very intriguing. I didn't take it yet because I'm supposed to take it in my year 3. It's basically learning Chinese, but it's specifically related to my major, information system. So if you are, for example, accounting and finance students, you'll probably take practical Chinese for accounting and finance students. So it's basically major specific courses, and they teach you Chinese, like they teach you lexicons related to your major. So it's going to be really helpful for you in the future. The next one is faculty core courses. So everybody who got accepted under FBE, you guys all have to take this. So so there are like 4 courses: introductory microecon, accounting, corporate finance, and one of the stats listed in the option. I have a lot to share here. First of all, okay, so for these courses, when I say pretty much everybody in FB have to take this, I mean it's really hard to get an exemption from this. For example, I have like 5 in AP microecon, but I still had to take introductory microecon. I also have 5 in stats, but I also had to take this course. So it's really hard to get an exemption. For introductory microecon and corporate finance, these courses are really infamous for failing students. So it's really hard to get like a good grade here. For example, microecon, I saw like the professor literally said in his own word that his goal is to fail students. So it's really hard. For corporate finance, it's also infamous. So I instead chose to take this course in summer school. Using a program called short-term abroad opportunity. It's shortened of SAO. It's basically like an exchange program, but one thing good about this is that HKU funds you. Like they provide a scholarship for students who have GPA over 3.0, and I was qualified for that, and I got like 10,000 Hong Kong dollar funded, which pretty much covered my tuition for the summer school. So the purpose of telling you this is there are a lot of courses in the HKU that are infamous for not giving a good score. And if that's pretty much the requirement for you, there's always an option of taking summer school. So that's one thing to consider. Next one here is business core courses. Just like the previous one, everybody in FB have to take this. So there are 4 courses: management information systems, management, marketing, and strategic management. The last one with the course code 4, it's basically for the seniors. So probably you're gonna take this course in your last year. And other than that, it's pretty much good. Oh, and the first one, it says management information system, which is pretty much really directly related to my major, information system. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. The last for the core courses for IS, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about this because it's just for IS. So for the free electives, I said the credits are 3 plus alpha because you can get exemption from some courses. Like I just said, I got an exemption from core university English course. So when I got an exemption, they told me that I have to replace that course with one free elective as an offset. So that's why I said alpha here. And with the free electives, you guys have a lot of options to use this. First, you can take electives from FB, but from different program. For example, I can take free electives from accounting and finance or management, something like that. Or you can take electives from other faculties. For example, faculty of engineering, art, mathematics, whatever that you want to take from other faculties. Last one is to fulfill the requirement for minor you've declared. For example, I said that I'm minoring in Spanish. So I use my free electives to take Spanish courses. That's how the free electives work. Oh, and also I want to talk about the advanced standing. It's mostly for IB students. And for AP students like me, we have to send email to specific course instructors and get approval. For example, I was planning to take university math courses, and I figured that I have 5 in AP Calculus BC. So I was wondering if I could get an exemption from that course. And I emailed the professor personally, and he said that I can get an exemption. So that's how it works for the AP students. Free elective really comes in a way. I really wanted to say this because in our first year, we pretty much want to use this free elective to, explore other fields or take an easy A course. So it's not going to be a matter for you guys. But when you become a year two student, and when you have to plan like exchange or for like graduation, it really can be an issue, because for the exchange, it's really hard to get a credit transfer. And if you fail to get a credit transfer, you have to use that course for a free elective. So you can't just use free elective in your first year, like taking easy A courses, and because you'll end up acknowledging that maybe it was a bad decision for you. So I just wanted to say to be careful of using the free electives. And some tips here, I said, make full use of suggested order of study. So basically, HKU provides a suggested order of study for every programs. So you just have to Google suggested order of study for HKU and then type your program, just like I underlined here. And you're gonna get a PDF file from HKU telling you the suggested order of study. And it's really helpful for you to plan like course enrollment, exchange, or internship. So make full use of it. Also for CC, try to find course reviews. CC is can be a really double-edged sword. So it can be an easy A course, but it can actually drag your GPA down. So what I did was I skimmed through all the course list and I sorted what I wanted to take, and then I found course review for each courses on Google. So just to know if it's an easy A course or if it's rigorous academically. Last one is to be aware of which semester course opened. So this came to a problem to me personally, because I literally thought most of the courses will be open for 2 semesters, but then I figured that it's only open, like most of the courses are only open in one of the 2 semesters. So for I wanted, like, let's say I wanted to take this course in my year 2, no, in my second semester, and then I figured that it's not open in sem 2. So I had to wait for like a year to take that course, and I wish that I could have known this earlier so that I could plan ahead for this. So that's what I'm telling you. This is a suggested order of study. If you just Google it, you can just open this file for every program that you have. It provides a direction for 4 years of my university life, and I found this really helpful when I was year 1 and 2. For example, it tells me that I have to take 4 common cores in my year 1. I have to take 1 elective and these courses in my year 1. And so I refer to this chart and plan my courses. So this will be helpful for you guys for your course enrollment. But do not overtrust this. And by this, I mean, you don't have to follow this chart strictly. I managed to take 4 common cores in my year 1 based on this chart. But then now that I'm thinking, I think I could have distributed common cores evenly in my 4 years in HKU, because as I said, a common core can be an easy A course and it can be a GPA booster. So now that I think about it, I'm hoping that maybe if I have like one or two common cores left, I can properly use it by distributing it to my year 3 and year 4, and it can probably be my GPA booster. So yeah, I'll make full use of this. For the FB facilities, I wanted to say there are 3 campuses for free FB facilities. One is the KK Long building. It's located in on main campus, and it looks like this. It's called we usually call it KKL, I think. Oh, maybe you call it KK Long. Okay. The other one is Cyberport campus. It's located in Cyberport. It's near like the Cyberport beach side, and they have campus here. And the last one is Town Center. It's in Admiralty. It's basically like a place full of business, like it's basically full of conglomerate buildings and like government buildings. And FB managed to have one of the campus here. Before the two campuses I showed just now, it's mostly used for masters and postgraduate students. So we're not going to be using that building that much. Also, I wanted to talk about the Curve. It's in KK Long building. It's an individual learning space. It basically looks like this. It's located in 2 floors, first and second floors, and you guys can just study here, eat food, talk, have a group discussion, and whatever you have to do here. And I found these 2 places really helpful when I have like short period of break time between my classes. I just go there and maybe have some snacks, maybe have group discussions with other students. And I really love the facilities of KKL. And this is the end, and I'm going to toss it to Pranay. He's going to talk about learning and teaching tools in HKU.
Thanks a lot. Um, so, hi everyone. My name is Pranay, um, and I'm going to talk a bit about teaching at HKU. So, a bit about me. My name is Pranay. I actually spent a summer making robots, so people started calling me Wally after that, if that's easier to pronounce. I'm from Mumbai, India. I was admitted through the non-JUPAS scheme, and I am a sophomore, which is a year two, studying computer science. I have been a teaching assistant and a student advisor at HKU for the past year. In fact, I just found out both Adriana and Anishka are in the class I am teaching right now, so that was pretty funny. And in my free time, I like to sleep. This is a picture of me sleeping in Chiva a night before my mechanics exam, which was so stressful, but I got through it. Anyways, so the basic stuff about HKU that I think you should know. Your GPA is out of 4.3, not 4. This is a bit weird, but you get used to it. One course is typically worth 6 credits. So what do credits means? Credits are things that you need for graduation. And one course usually requires you to spend 3 hours of classes a week, not counting your self-study or how much ever work you want to do outside of class. There's a very strong emphasis on self-learning, which also means that there's no mandatory attendance, which is great because you can skip classes and study on your own if you need to. And finally, there's a lot of importance given to application-based learning. So it's not just read, and then write what you've learned in class. It's use what you've learned in class, which I think is very important. So a bit more, you need 240 credits for graduation. So like I said, one course is 6 credits, so approximately 40 courses. So how is that divided? You need about half of that for your professional core, which is your major. So for me, about half of my courses are engineering courses or computer science courses, to be more specific. Then a bit more is your UG5 requirements, which means English, Common Core, and Chinese. And the rest is free electives, which is fun courses from other departments that you can take. The workload is usually 4 to 6 courses per semester. I usually tend to take 5, so that way I can finish in 8 semesters or 4 years, which is the regular study period. And in your freshman year, you tend to do your faculty-based courses. So for example, Adriana was talking about doing faculty of business and economic courses like economics and accounting. For me, that would have been math courses and physics courses at for engineering. And once you get to year 2, you start specializing more in your department courses. So computer science courses for me. And lastly, I think this is a question that a lot of people have at the start is it possible to change my major once I'm admitted to HKU? So if it's within the same faculty, then yes, you can. But if it's a different faculty, then it's a little tough. So for example, if I want to change from computer science to mechanical engineering, that's possible, but I can't change from computer science to marketing. That's a bit tough. So a bit about courses at HKU, how they're structured, what they're like. We have things called lectures, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with. So what does that mean? Bigger classes, maybe 80 to 100 people. Obviously, that depends on your course. Some can be bigger, some can be smaller. And your lecturer is usually your professor who teaches you concepts in class that you're going to use later on. And the second part of a course is something called tutorials. So what are tutorials? Tutorials are smaller classes of 10 to 20 people. And I think this is great because for me, I'm a little shy. So I feel nervous when I ask questions in class. in a bigger class of say 80 people or 100 people. But if it's 10 to 20 people, I feel a lot more comfortable asking the tutor a doubt, because it's just a smaller class size and I feel more comfortable with that. So what happens in tutorials, you practice what you've learned in lectures. So that could be applying the concepts in terms of solving sums, or there could be discussions or mini group assignments that the tutor assigns you. And there's usually a lot of interesting discussions. And yes, that is The Simpsons. So how do courses get graded? How do you know what to do in a course? So you're graded based on coursework, which is um, depends on your professor that will set you assignments or midterms, Then there is projects and field trips, which is alluding to the previous point about application-based learning, and the final examination, of course, which some courses do not have. So what is projects and field trips? Projects and field trips are a great way to do collaborative and experiential learning. So you can meet new people and apply concepts and learn in a very hands-on way. So for example, I took Cantonese my first year, and they took us to a local restaurant for a field trip. They did not pay, which I am quite upset about, but I had a really fun time. That's my friend Jackie Chan, and he does martial arts. I just thought that was cool. And that's me in the back struggling with chopsticks. And another thing that I did was a drone project. So I built a drone for one of my courses, and we had to fly the drone through an obstacle course and pick up the dummies at the end and bring them back. So that's the claw on the left and the drone on the right. So it was super interesting because I didn't just sit in a class and look at a professor teaching me, but I also applied what the professor taught me in real life and built something. Coming to my next point, I mentioned UG5 requirements earlier. So what are UG5 requirements? They are your 54 credits, which is 9 courses of general courses that everybody has to do in every university in Hong Kong. So these are government mandated. So what are these 9 courses? Well, the first course is an English course, which all freshmen are expected to do. But if you have good English scores in international exams, you can get exempted from this. The second one is Chinese for XXX. So that is your major. So these are technical courses that give you knowledge in Chinese about your specific course. But if you've never studied Chinese in high school like me, you can get exemption from it. So don't worry about that. English for XXX is advanced English course for your major. So this is a mandatory course because you have to do this course to graduate for your major, because it teaches you about important things like how to write a project or how to write a report based on your major. And finally, 6 common core courses. So, we've mentioned common core a lot. So what is a common core course? It's a set of courses that are designed to introduce students to new topics. So you're not simply doing one subject. It kind of gives you a liberal arts style of education. So there's 4 areas of inquiries. What that means is there's 4 topics: science, humanities, global issues, and China. So you have to do at least one course from each of these topics, and you can't do more than 2. So over your 6 courses, you would do one from each, and then one more from the 2 that you like the most or find most interesting. And HKU has more than 200 courses for Common Core that they offer over different departments and with other universities in Hong Kong too. So some of the examples of these courses that I found really interesting were science and science fiction, courses about AI, courses about video games, Chinese mythology, and you can look at the website for all 200 of them. A question I get very often is, what if I haven't studied science or humanities before? Can I still take these courses? And yes, definitely, because HKU has got you covered. They teach you courses in a way that doesn't require any background knowledge of the subject. So I could be from an engineering background and I could still take courses that pertain to humanities or global issues. Each course teaches you a wide range of topics, but also teaches you information on relevant subjects. So I think a good example of this is if you go to any Common Core class, teachers always make their content very relatable to current issues. And that's very important as a university student because it's it helps you in the job market when you have to if somebody asks you about current affairs or current relations, then you can talk about it because you've learned it through all your classes. And they're a great way to check out new fields to see if you want to use your free electives on that field to do a more dedicated minor, major, or just your study plan. And CC tutorials are the best tutorials because they have the most fun discussions and most innovative kind of activities, and you get to meet people from different faculties. Um, I want to also talk about out of classroom learning. So what is out of classroom learning? It is not when you get thrown out of the classroom. I made that mistake once. But it actually pertains to learning and personal enrichment from outside of your courses. So there's multiple possibilities. Some way that I can think of is student organized workshops. So for example, other students in HKU will organize their own workshops to teach you skills that they have learned. Then there is official HKU summer and winter programs like the leadership program and the Laidlaw research program, where you can go to a different country and you stay there for a month and you work over there or you do research over there. HKU also organizes workshops and seminars. For example, the sports facilities give you sports classes or training with a one-on-one trainer. They provide you with co-curricular and extracurricular learning classes too. Halls are another great way to learn because you have friends that teach you new things, or hall activities where they help you learn. And of course, your friends. So you're going to meet people from all over the world at HKU. So you can learn a lot of things about their culture from them. And internships and jobs are a great way to gain experience about your field. So HKU for you, this is the last one. I'm just gonna wrap up quick. What does HKU do for you? So there's the academic advising office, which helps you with everything that's related to academics from your major, minor to work studies. Lots of workshops to help you with any important decisions. You are assigned a faculty academic advisor at the start of your year, at the start of every year, who can help you with any personal or academic problems that you have. You can request temporary advisors from other faculties in case you are curious about what that study program is like. SIDARS, as previously mentioned, helps you with anything um, related to your life. And there are multiple career fairs. So there was a startup fair where lots of startup companies came to HKU to recruit students. And there was a 3-day career expo with almost 100 companies that came to recruit students. And this is a great learning experience because you can talk to the employers and see what they need from potential employees. And then there's workshop and seminars by very, very famous people from their fields. So just some online learning tools that HKU provides you with. The notebook ownership program, which lets you buy laptops for almost half the price. Moodle, which is our online learning platform where your professors will upload their learning slides and their assignments. Lecture recordings. Zoom, we're using this right now. We get video lectures from Zoom, Office 365 Pro, which gives you access to a lot of important features. Google Drive Premium, which is for collaborative purposes, especially in group projects. This comes very handy. You get access to many online paid resources through the libraries, and GitHub Pro, which is like Google Drive, but for programmers. And that's it from my side.